I know that some of you are struggling a bit to understand how the magnet motor works, well, the principle that I've designed with it, right? I know it's difficult sometimes because, I mean, we don't all have the same kind of imagination or capability of visualizing it. So at first I was going to do a little piece of animation on a piece of paper. I thought, sod that, I'll just do it in animation shop. Anyway, well, you're aware of the concentric basis, that when we bias the concentric, right, we have a magnet, and I should have put this in my stand really, but when we oops, nothing works when you want it to work. So at the moment, obviously, there is nothing on the I've got this wrong way around anyway. So obviously at the moment, stop rolling with it, flipping thing. I'll just stick this on the other table. So obviously it's not doing anything right now, because the way this works is the way the concentric works is by subtracting one field to allow and to deflect the other field at the same time. And as I demonstrated with some previous testing in other live streams, the obviously when you subtract a field, I'm trying to do this with one hand. If I stick these magnets on, they're actually pulling on the magnets, right? So they're actually pulling more than the pushing. So when we subtract that field, then we get a biasing, which is effectively pushing on the other field. Now obviously, as you know, with the as I've been showing you with the segment arrangements, oops, I'll get the other one because it's got the thing on it. Right, so with the segments we have a different directional, let me just bias this. With the segments we have a different directional force going on, which is not in this forwards and backwards direction. It's actually in a linear sideways direction, because the magnets in the segment, when we apply the field, stupid thing, hang on, I'm just trying to get this over the top, which is kind of difficult. When we apply the field over it, it wants to move, right? So it's moving in a different linear plane. It's actually moving in a linear plane. So what we do is, when we put this on here, as you can see, it wants to go in that direction. So we have a different directional force going on here. So all I did was I drew up this, I made this little animation shot just to give you an idea of the basic principle of how this works. The top square represents the magnet disc, or one magnet on the magnet disc. The green square that's in the middle represents the concentric, this thing here, and the orange, or whatever colour you want to call it, I think it's orange, square at the bottom represents the segment, which is actually moving along, and the arrows indicate the directional forces. So we have directional forces at the top, which are pointing straight up, which is a different directional force to the forces being exerted on the segment. So as you can see, the segment wants to move in a left hand, or in a directional rotational direction. So it will pull itself along because it's referenced by the concentric, which is the stator, which is fixed and not moving. So it's going to be applying its biasing, its reverse equal opposite reaction to a stationary object, and not the actual actuator magnet, which is on the top, which is the square on the top. So you get the idea that why I'm convinced that this will work, because the forces are all referenced, or they are all referencing the stator in the middle. So the top forces are in a different plane, and the bottom forces are in a a different plane to the top forces. So this is why I'm quite convinced that this will work, which is why anyway, I'm printing the segment disc at the moment. Well, it's probably going to take, actually I know when it's going to, it's 11 hours to take to print this thing. This probably won't finish until probably 7 AM, and it's actually nearly it's 1:23 AM at the moment. I mean, it's the middle of the night anyway. So yeah, this is going to be let's see, another 6 hours probably of printing. So yeah, so I thought I'd give you that an animation, because I know there's a few of you that struggle to try and figure it out, and I'm hoping that that explains it a little bit better. So thanks for watching.